What? No!
Andra's depths. This was no accident.
What happened? Who did this? The city's under attack. Come, there isn't a moment to waste. I just hope Quilici is all right.
Something's burning. Doesn't look like the city, but let's make sure no one's hurt.
I can't believe this. All things considered, Fior looks undamaged. Surprising when you consider the state of our defenses. Whoever started this fight didn't come prepared to finish it. I will be happy to oblige them. Someone made a dangerous enemy today.
We'll fight them with you, Giada.
They break, they bind us.
I hope everyone is all right. My people settled these lands in the name of freedom. It took 50 years, but our oppressors caught up to us. I hate living in interesting times.
I couldn't agree with you more.
Again and again they strike.
Yeah.
Oi, we captured it.
There's the city. Thank goodness.
Envoy, over here. I see you avoided the carnage. A few of your countrymen, well, let's say they didn't know any better.
You may have beaten us today, but it's only a matter of time before Emerald Stare bends the knee.
Shut up already. Since the two of you are kin, I thought maybe you could help squeeze some information out of him. Good point. I'll just bring the masked warlord who answers to no one in for questioning. That isn't going to happen. We caught this one alive, so any justice we mete out will be on his head. What we know is this. The Steel Garrot marched on Emerald Stair. We're pretty sure they wanted to set us to the torch.
And you taught them the error of their ways. Well done.
Just doing my job, same as you. What I don't understand is why they came unprepared. Few soldiers, and even fewer supplies. If the Steel Garrot wanted to start a fire, they sure didn't pack a lot of firepower.
That was you?
Well, that's one question down. I'm sure the governor will want to thank you himself. As for our friend here...
It doesn't matter what you do to me. The living lands will be brought to heel.
Now listen. I am a patient man. But if you don't give us some answers, the envoy here is going to rip you in half. You know I was bluffing, don't you? I'm not looking forward to cleaning up the mess. So you can help me by telling us what we want to know.
Your threats are wasted, cur. I have nothing to hide. Inquisitor Ludwig gave the order to march on Fior Mesiverno. Emerald Stairs on the precipice of disaster. Crops have failed, the townsfolk are defiant, and it's only gotten worse.
I fail to see how attacking my city helps the situation.
The coast is the only habitable corner in the living lands. We can unite as one people, or let the wilderness take us. What choice do we have? Tradition led this place to its doom. Better that it burn, and the people start again.
That is, without a doubt, the worst justification for a war crime that I have ever heard.
Speaking from experience, people don't usually unite as one after you've attacked their home.
Ludwig tried to hasten the inevitable. Nothing more.
Ah, now that is what I call a thorough confession. What do you want to do with him? As an adherent, I trust you know how to handle it by the book. I will see to it myself. Too bad the road to Paradise is in bad shape. Our wagon might hit a bump or two.
As much as I want to rip his soul apart, maybe he's more useful to us alive.
But you can't send me back to Ludwig. Don't you know what she does to people who fail her?
I can't wait to find out. See you around, Envoy. Thanks again.
A fate worse than death, perhaps. But fate nonetheless.
Good call. He's Ludwig's problem. Not worth getting your hands dirty.
Envoy, I owe you my gratitude, and perhaps an apology. They tell me you're the reason our city is standing. You took care of the steel Garrot before they could cause any serious damage. I can't imagine what it cost you to stand up to the likes of the steel Garrot, but we won't forget it.
No doubt your Inquisitor is aware of what happened here. You've made a powerful enemy.
The Inquisitor is not one to be trifled with. I hope you are not punished for your generosity. As for us, we're still standing, but our enemies have little patience for failure.
We agree on one thing. The Steel Garrot have declared war on the living lands.
Call it what you like. This is an invasion of our sovereign territory.
What happened here is no coincidence. Their forces already have an unshakable grip on Paradise. Today marks a notable victory, but we've only bought ourselves time, not salvation. Tell us, what of your research into the Dream Scourge? Assuming our governor wants to hear it.
I may have spoken in haste before.
Pardon?
The very notion that the Dream Scourge had blighted our farms, it was too awful to acknowledge.
Are you being serious right now?
I am. The sanctuary my family built was falling apart on my watch. And I wasn't strong enough to bear it. Not for me, perhaps. You must understand. My mother is the Dream Scourge. I hoped against reason that she might recover, but her mind grew as blighted as her lands. To face reality would mean upending my city, throwing order into chaos, and admitting she was truly gone. I'm so sorry, Giata.
Don't waste your apologies on me. This changes nothing between us.
I don't expect your forgiveness, but I will do everything in my power to make this right. Whatever you have to say, I'm ready to hear it.
You want me to do the talking? Very well. The evidence is clear. The Living Lands is on the edge of an ecological disaster, both physically and spiritually. We may know the origin of the Dream Scourge. By following it back to the source, perhaps we can reverse the damage. Now for the bad news. An undiscovered god rests in the heart of this island. Until we know more about its nature, we are powerless to stop it.
But this is madness. When I said I was ready for the truth, I didn't mean... Quilici, tell him it's madness.
Envoy, is it true?
There's no other explanation for the spiritual shift in the living lands. Something that slept has awoken. I believe there is still more to learn, but a disturbance on this scale could explain the changes to our ecosystem.
First the Dream Scourge, then the Steel Garrot, and now... what does this god of yours want us to do? Pray?
This is no time for a theological discussion. Our survival hangs on a knife's edge. We can't remain in Emerald Stair.
But we can return someday. Rebuild your father's legacy. We should relocate to Thirdborn. It's the only settlement that can take us all.
No. I say we go to Paradise. Exactly. As long as we are animancers, the adherents will pursue us to the ends of the earth. Instead, we lay low, hide in plain sight, let them believe we're beaten, and bide our time.
While we hide, the Dream Scourge will tear this island apart. At least in Thirdborn, we can practice animancy freely. We can't gamble with our existence. The political climate of the Living Lands is too dangerous.
Thirdborn has its own problems. Paradise is more secure, but it would mean living under a Diran rule. I don't like our options, but that shouldn't stop us from committing to one.
Thirdborn's full of hardy types. Lots of former soldiers and mercenaries. A rough bunch, but good to have at your back. It's also farther from the Steel Garrot's base of operations. That's where I'd make my stand.
We'll be proud to lend our strength to theirs, as animancers and as fellow expatriates.
I have my misgivings, but you helped my father leave the Republics. I trust you to help us again. What of you, envoy? Where does the hunt for the Dream Scourge take you next?
Oh, I do.
Yardsley? Don't tell me you are getting swept up in all of this.
Oh, really? You should know better, darling. Any talk of the Akita, and I will appear. If you're looking for the garden, I can probably lead the way. You're already aware that I'm the foremost Akitan scholar in the Living Lands, and...
Godless scholar, my dear. No one outside of academia uses their proper name.
Ah, right. Layman's terms. Thank you, darling. Well, to make a long story short, I think I can lead you to the garden. 30 years of research, and I think the answer lies in a ruin called Nakukubel, which is in Shatterscarp. So we've got to get there now. Though the city was saved, my research wasn't, which means the Steel Garrot knows just as much as we do. Wait. If they know as much as we do, they know to go to Shatterscarp too. Oh no. I've got to warn Temerty. Meet me in Thirdborn, all right? You can't miss it. It's the only bit of civilization in Shatterscarp, if you can call it that. I'll finish getting ready here and just meet you there.
Ugh, what a whirlwind. God, I love that tiny woman. Oh, a gentleman never tells. She's a feisty one. Almost makes me feel young again.
I am officially putting a stop to this line of questioning. Keep it in the bedroom. For what it's worth, I vouch for Yardsley. She's a good friend and a bad influence. Right now, we could use both.
There's a gate to the north, which will take you to Shatterscarp. It's guarded by some of our best rangers. I'll make sure they grant you safe passage. May the gods protect you, envoy.
Exploring the living lands with a friend. What more could I ask for?
Back to Shatterscarp, then.